plants. While most are in full bloom this summer, I thought it would be a great time to show you around my little garden. There are quite a variety of different plants, and some are quite colourful. So I hope you enjoy this little tour. The first plant is the Gertrude Jekyll. This is a species of rose, more specifically a shrub rose. Its flowers bloom repeatedly year after year, and they are quite an intense pink colour. They can grow up to 11 centimeters in diameter. And are quite densely filled. Not really like your average rose. They bloom from July to September, and the flowers appear in sets of 3 to 5. Each one gives off that beautiful, strong old rose fragrance. The shrub can grow up to 4 foot in height on average, though this one is a little higher. The name is dedicated to a lady called Gertrude Jekyll, who was an influential garden designer, artist and writer, and she was born in 1843. The leaves are long and pointed and quite a vibrant green colour. The shoots are, like many other roses, lined with thorns and very spiky. The bloom starts off a hybrid T-shape, but then opens to a rosette with neat spiraling petals. Each shrub, once planted, will last around 3 years. It can live quite well if planted in the middle of a garden, but if planted against the wall, it will really thrive and grow to its full potential with this support. You can see here that these leaves have been eaten by someone, but that's okay. And this little bud seems ready to bloom very soon. I have two types of Alcea species of plants, and they are from the Malvaceae family. They are more commonly known as hollyhocks. These are very, very tall and can grow up to 9 foot. And this one isn't very far off that height. As you can see, they have many flowers per plant. The petals, in this case, the ones that I have, are cream and this very bright, shocking pink. The flowers are quite a statement, having the bright colours and the funnel shape. They are very showy and vibrant. They sit on the very ends of each stem, and the larger ones reach about 10 centimeters across in diameter. Really pretty. And the stamen is in the center. This one is cream colour with an orangey centre, and there is another one that I have that is cream with a more purpley coloured centre. The bees really love these plants, and they get the pollen all over their bums. So cute. The leaves are also quite large. They are sort of star-shaped, seeming to be curved on the very edges. They are a crinkly texture to touch. The hollyhocks flower from the summer until the beginning of the autumn season. And here is the beautiful bright pink one that I have too. You can see the height of this particular one at the moment too. I am 5'10" for reference, so it's quite a tall plant, and it's still growing. I love it. The next one is a hardy fuchsia. These are usually shrubs or small trees. This one is about 6 foot at the moment. The leaves are long and quite slimline, each one has a line down the middle and are serrated. They are a very deep green in colour, which I think makes the flowers stand out even more. Something interesting about the flowers are the colours. They are this very deep, bright pink or fuchsia colour, paired with this very rich purple. A colour combination that you don't often see, and especially not in nature. They are quite flamboyant, so lovely. The flowers bloom throughout the summer and the autumn. They face downwards on the stems and droop, forming this sort of teardrop shape. When I was younger, they used to remind me of little fairies in beautiful gowns. How they look like pretty dresses, long pink legs, and they would dance as they swayed in the wind. They have 4 long and thin sepals, which are the bright pink parts, and then 4 shorter and thicker petals that are tucked in the purple parts. These colours are said to attract hummingbirds that help pollinate them. Unfortunately, we don't have any of those in the UK. But again, the bees do love them. In other species of this plant, the colours can vary from white to a dark red, purple blue and orange. They can be very resilient and are extremely easy to care for, surviving here in Europe quite easily through the winters. Carrier is a shrub within the rose family, native to China, Japan and Korea. It can grow up to 3 meters tall and is a very thin and brittle plant. It needs to be supported ideally, and I have used some wire to help keep it upright, as its stems are very frail and it has fallen over a few times within the past few months. So the wires help to keep it propped up and happy. The leaves alternate on either side of the arching shoots and are in sets of 2s. They are teardrop shaped and taper to a point. bright yellow in colour. They're extremely small and very delicate, and this plant has already bloomed this year, so there are not many flowers left. They usually start in the spring and diminish towards summertime. I think I will need to cut back the stems that have grown this year quite soon, or it will not grow or bloom as much next year, which would be a shame, as it's very pretty in full bloom. The fern is one of my favourite leafy plants. These have a branch stem and produce fiddleheads that uncoil and expand into fronds. A frond is a large divided leaf. The fiddleheads sort of look like little snails before they unfold. I managed to record one just here. They're quite fuzzy. Some ferns have a sort of bark and can grow up to 66 feet, although not this kind, luckily, as I don't have room for that. The ferns do not have any flowers or seeds, but instead the frond, once unveiled, produces spores that are swept away with the wind. They are happy growing just about anywhere in the wild, from rock faces to open fields or even bodies of water. The leaves are very small and densely packed onto each stem. The whole stem reminds me of a bird's large wingspan. The leaves look like the tiny feathers that make up their huge body. So lovely. Such beautiful big stems. Super soft too, and very bright. This one is called Snow in Summer, which is a really cute name. With its silver leaves, it's a very dainty plant. It will bloom in springtime to start with, usually producing a vast set of tiny white flowers, almost like a flower blanket, each petal looking like a little heart shape. The flowers themselves tend to look like a clover. This one is coming to the end of its bloom. As you can see, there are no flowers left and only the leaves. It generally likes more rocky, dry stone areas, which is why it is on the wall here. The leaves are so velvety and soft, covered in this fine fuzz, giving it a silvery appearance. Geranium is a genus of over 400 species. It is a small little shrub that's quite busy with tiny little shoots. It comes in white, pink, purple or blue, and you might be able to see it has got distinctive veining. These are a really sweet baby pink colour, and each flower has 5 petals. They're quite circular, like saucer shaped when they are fully open, with a bold coloured centre. The leaves are quite long and oddly shaped in that I think they look like little feet of a bird, along with the 3 toes. They're quite tough and can last easily during the winter months. They're very long-lived. The petals, strangely, are quite thick, and you can feel the water inside, even though they do appear quite frail. Very velvety and soft. Welsh poppies are quite a common gardening plant here in the UK. They can have either yellow or orange flowers, which consist of a few petals and green sepals that detach soon after the flower blooms. Its crumpled petals remind me of tissue paper. They are so very thin, and you can see the veins inside the petals too, more so if you hold them up to the light. There's a circle of pollen and the stamen inside. It spreads very easily from the small black seeds produced in the summertime. You can see these here. There are a few different plants all over my garden because of these spreading. It will happily live in damp, rocky ground. At the base there are the leaves in couples either side, and then the very, very long stem that supports the flower at the very tip. Osteospermum, or the daisy bush, is a very small plant in this case, also known as the African daisy, blue-eyed daisy too. With many, many very slim, long petals protruding from the large disc in the centre. The flower can be in a very wide range of colours, from yellow, blue, purple. The disc in the centre can be a deep blue until the flower matures, and then it will change colour and the yellow pollen is shed. These bloom once a year only, and there is quite a large number of flowers on such a small plant. Nemesia, or the wisely vanilla, are native to South Africa. There are many hybrids, much like this one, and they are popular with gardeners as bedding plants. The flowers are sectioned sort of into two lips. The top lip consisting of 4 lobes, and the lower only 2 lobes. They come in all colours, from white to a pale pastel pink, lilac through to bright yellow, orange, red to deep pink and purple. This type are often white with a very pale pink flush, most commonly on the upper petals, giving that transitioned ombre look, and the yellow centre. They have a beautiful aroma of vanilla. It's really beautiful. Other species can have more of a berry sort of scent, and it is so lovely when the wind blows and you can smell it on the air, particularly on a summer's afternoon or evening while you are enjoying the sunshine. There are many more flowers that I have, and I do adore them all. But I really hope that you have enjoyed this little tour with me around my little garden on this beautiful